Have you ever wondered how powerful China's new warships are? How do they compare with America's warships? And why should we care about them? In this video, we will answer these questions and more. But before we start, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. It really helps us out a lot. Welcome to Sky Sea Channel, the channel that always discusses anything about the sea. Today we have a very interesting topic to talk about: China's warship Type 055 destroyers. First, let's take a look at where China is located and why it needs a strong navy. China is a huge country with a long coastline that borders the East China Sea, the South China Sea, and the Yellow Sea. These waters are rich in natural resources, such as fish, oil and gas, and they are also vital for trade and transportation. China claims almost all of these waters as its own territory, but many other countries disagree and have competing claims. For example, in the South China Sea, there are several groups of islands and reefs that are disputed by China and its neighbors, such as Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan. Some of these islands and reefs are occupied by military forces or civilians from different countries, while others are artificial islands built by China on top of coral reefs. These artificial islands have been equipped with airstrips, radar stations, missile launchers, and other military facilities. Another flashpoint in the region is Taiwan, a self-governing island that China considers as part of its territory. Taiwan has its own government, military, and foreign relations, but China has never renounced the use of force to reunify it with the mainland. Taiwan is also supported by the United States, which sells weapons to Taiwan and maintains unofficial diplomatic ties with it. The U.S. also has a policy of strategic ambiguity, which means that it does not explicitly state whether it would intervene militarily if China attacked Taiwan. A third area of tension is the East China Sea, where China and Japan have a long-standing dispute over a group of uninhabited islands called Senkaku in Japanese and Diaoyu in Chinese. Both countries claim sovereignty over these islands, which are located near rich fishing grounds and potential oil and gas reserves. Japan administers the islands, but China frequently sends Coast Guard ships and aircraft to challenge Japan's control. So, as you can see, China has many reasons to want a powerful navy that can protect its interests and assert its claims in these contested waters. And that's where the Type 055 destroyers come in. The Type 055 destroyer is a new class of warship that China has been developing since the early 2000s. It is designed to be a multi-role vessel that can perform various missions, such as air defense, anti-ship, anti-submarine, land attack, and electronic warfare. It is also meant to be a flagship for China's aircraft carrier strike groups, which are composed of an aircraft carrier, several destroyers, frigates, and submarines. The Type 055 destroyer is about 180 meters long and 20 meters wide, with a displacement of about 13,000 tons. It has a sleek hull shape that reduces its radar signature and makes it harder to detect by enemy sensors. It also has 4 large phased array radars that can track hundreds of targets simultaneously in all directions. The Type 055 destroyer is armed with more than 100 vertical launch cells that can fire various types of missiles, such as surface-to-air missiles, anti-ship missiles, land attack cruise missiles, and anti-submarine rockets. It also has a 130mm main gun, a close-in weapon system, a helicopter deck and hangar, and several anti-submarine warfare devices. China has already launched 8 Type 055 destroyers since 2019, and more are under construction. The first 2 destroyers, Nanchang, 101, and Lhasa, 102, have been commissioned into the Chinese Navy and have participated in several exercises and patrols. The other 6 destroyers are undergoing sea trials and are expected to join the fleet soon. They are Dalian, 105, Changsha, 106, Xining, 117, Xiamen, 118, Weiyang, 119, and Nanjing, 120. So how do the Type 055 destroyers compare with the warships of other countries, especially the United States? Well, the closest counterpart to the Type 055 destroyer in the U.S. Navy is the Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, which is the most numerous and versatile surface combatant in the world. The Arleigh Burke-class destroyer is about 155 meters long and 20 meters wide, with a displacement of about 9,000 tons. It has a stealthy hull design that reduces its radar cross-section and makes it less visible to enemy sensors. It also has 4 fixed-array radars that can track multiple targets in different directions. The Arleigh Burke-class destroyer is armed with 96 vertical launch cells that can fire various types of missiles, such as surface-to-air missiles, anti-ship missiles, land attack cruise missiles, and anti-submarine rockets. It also has a 127mm main gun, a close-in weapon system, a helicopter deck and hangar, and several anti-submarine warfare devices. The U.S. Navy has more than 60 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers in service, and more are being built. These destroyers have been deployed around the world and have participated in many operations and conflicts, such as the Gulf War, the Iraq War, the war in Afghanistan, and the War on Terror. So which warship is better? China's Type 055 destroyer or America's Arleigh Burke-class destroyer? Well, it's hard to say for sure, because there are many factors that affect the performance and effectiveness of a warship, such as training, tactics, logistics, intelligence, and support. However, based on the available information, we can make some general comparisons. In terms of size and displacement, the Type 055 destroyer is bigger and heavier than the Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. This means that it can carry more weapons, fuel, and supplies, but it also makes it more expensive to build and operate. In terms of radar and sensors, the Type 055 destroyer has more advanced phased-array radars that can cover more angles and track more targets than the fixed-array radars of the Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. However, the U.S. Navy has more experience and expertise in using radar technology and integrating it with other systems. In terms of weapons and missiles, the Type 055 destroyer has more vertical launch cells than the Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. This gives it more flexibility and firepower to deal with different threats. However, the quality and quantity of the missiles themselves may vary depending on their type and origin. In terms of stealth and survivability, both warships have stealthy hull designs that reduce their radar signatures. However, stealth is not absolute and can be compromised by various factors, such as weather conditions, electronic emissions, and human errors. Both warships also have defensive systems that can counter incoming attacks, such as close-in weapon systems and electronic warfare devices. In terms of speed and range, both warships have similar maximum speeds of about 30 knots or 55 kilometers per hour. However, the range of a warship depends on how much fuel it carries and how fast it travels. The Type 055 destroyer may have a longer range than the Arleigh Burke-class destroyer because of its larger size and displacement. In terms of versatility and compatibility, both warships are designed to perform multiple roles and missions. However, the Arleigh Burke-class destroyer may have an edge over the Type 055 destroyer because of its interoperability with other U.S. and Allied forces. The U.S. Navy has a global network of bases, allies, and partners that can provide support and coordination for its operations. So, As you can see, China's Type 055 destroyers are formidable warships that pose a serious challenge to America and other countries in the region. However, they are not invincible and they have their own limitations and weaknesses. The outcome of a naval confrontation between China and its rivals will depend on many factors, such as strategy, tactics, leadership, morale and luck. Do you think China's Type 055 destroyers will dominate the seas, or will America's Arleigh Burke-class destroyers prevail? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos about the sea. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified when we upload new videos. Thanks for watching and see you next time on Sky Sea Channel.